13-year veteran of the Green Bay Police Department has been formally charged for his role in arresting a suspect in November 2021. Emily Byer continues to follow this story and joins us with a first alert update. Emily?
Yeah, Jeff, 40-year-old Matthew Knutson is now charged with misconduct in office and negligent operation of a vehicle. If convicted on both counts, he could spend more than 4 years in prison. He's been on paid administrative leave since October. As we told you yesterday, Knutson hit a man with his squad car while other officers were running after him. The suspect had warrants for his arrest and had run from a traffic stop. At issue is Knutson's official police report, which prosecutors say conflicts the video of the encounter. Here's an excerpt from Knutson's account, which says, quote, "The male then abruptly turned from the direction it appeared he was heading and instead ran to the west, cutting directly in front of me and causing me to make contact with the rear of his right leg on the front left corner of my squad," end quote. The lawyer for the man sent a letter to prosecutors saying in part, quote, "Officer Knutson then accelerates over the curb onto the grass and strikes RS with the front left of his squad car. There was no need for Officer Knutson to drive on the grass as there was no other vehicle in the driveway at that time," end quote. This past January, when Knutson was interviewed by an investigating detective, the criminal complaint says he admitted he should have stopped his squad car sooner and chased the suspect on foot. He also said that laughing with officers at the scene after the man was in custody was inappropriate. Knutson's initial appearance in Brown County Court is set for May 17th. Jeff.
Emily, thanks.